All right, we got another one here. Let's see what's going on in Minnesota again.
Independent investigation into last night's ICE-related shooting in Minneapolis.
This comes after the BCA was shut out of the investigation into last week's deadly ICE shooting of Renee Good. Last night's shooting happened in a residential neighborhood near Lindale Avenue North. And this is what Homeland Security is claiming happened. So they say ICE agents were conducting a traffic stop around 7 p.m. targeting a man from Venezuela living in the U.S. illegally who drove off and eventually crashing into a parked car and then running away. DHS says a federal officer tried to arrest him, but then that man resisted attacking the officer. Officials then say two people then came out of a nearby home.
I'm going to throw a thought out here. Would it not be easier to just send one lone police officer from the city of Minneapolis to join each individual task force of ICE agents so that a body camera can be present so that we can actually see what happened? I mean, wouldn't it bring some more clarity to the situation if these reporters start with, this is what ICE is alleging happened? I mean, would we use the same tone of voice if it was the regular police department? If there's so much scrutiny here, why not? Why doesn't the mayor of Minneapolis just state, "Hey, guys, you know what? So we could have more clarity and more, direct visibility into the actions of what is exactly what's going on. We're going to assign one police officer to join ICE for each task when they actually are going in to apprehend one of these illegal immigrants." What do you get? You get local authority working with them. You get the body camera on site so that we can see what's going on. That way, hey, guess what? If things go by the book, you have that as, and there's a record of it. And if for whatever reason it's not going by the book, then you also have a record of it. Like, why does it have to be so difficult?
And attacked the officer with a shovel and broom handle, and that is when the agent fired, hitting the man in the leg, and all three then ran inside. The suspect was later taken to the hospital and is expected to survive. The two other alleged attackers were taken into custody. The officer was also taken to the hospital for treatment.
Well, the protests afterward turned violent, according to the Minneapolis police chief, and that prompted a new threat from President Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act, which would send the U.S. military to Minnesota. The president saying, quote, "If the corrupt politicians in Minnesota don't obey the law and stop the professional agitators and insurrectionists from attacking the patriots of ICE, who are only trying to do their job, I will institute the Insurrection Act." He goes on to say that will, quote, "quickly put an end to the travesty that is taking place in that once great state." Well, the ACLU of Minnesota filing another lawsuit against the federal government.
All right, so here's the deal also. I mean, again, like I said before, the mayor can bring some type of resolution to this as well, right? Like, law enforcement is law enforcement is law enforcement. There should be no violence, no harm, no direct threat going to these federal agents that are just conducting the job. All these people saying that they're the Gestapo or they're this and that. So do we really think that just like every single federal agent that is in the federal government or just that works for Homeland Security or ICE is a Nazi? Is that what we think? I personally have friends that do work for Homeland Security, and yeah, I can assure you that they're not in any way, shape, or form. It's really crazy that they're just like, it's almost like they're pivoting and they're having their citizens like just try to rise up and fight against them, and that really is sad at what's going on in Minneapolis right now. And I think this is going to continue, unfortunately, unless something is done. The other thing that can be done, is I don't understand why they are not fining the employers that are hiring these illegal people. Like, if you were to put major, massive fines against these employers who are hiring them, I'm pretty sure and I'm pretty confident that most of them will stop hiring them. Point blank. Like, end of story. I don't believe that's going on as much as it should be. I have not heard anything in the news about it, but it's definitely something that if it's not already being done, I don't understand why it's not being enforced. Because it seems to me that if they are here illegally and they have a place to actually work, if you cut that off, then it just makes things a little simpler. Like now we have a lawsuit going on in federal court regarding this, and only time will tell where this is going to go. But hey, guys, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one.